Every year people make interesting discoveries. However, it doesn't always mean that these get answers straight away. Sometimes they even baffle our best archaeologists and researchers. Something has recently happened in Indonesia that's confused many people. Photographs and videos started to appear online that showed large holes in the ground. Locals who visited the region said this happened in a graveyard. Once the photographs started to appear online though, some noticed that something didn't seem right. One person in the area posted the images to online groups, saying the following: "This happened overnight. Who dug up this graveyard? It's a huge mystery and no one knows who did it. Loved ones have been removed from the site and there's been no answers from anyone." End quote. Another person said the following: "Grave perimeters seem pressed down and contents sucked up. There are pressure cracks around them as an encircling force. There is no digging debris whatsoever left around." End quote. Others picked up on this as well, saying that if this was some kind of ceremony or ritual there would be more debris around. After these events happen, the individuals are then placed back inside the holes and then covered up. This doesn't appear to be what's going on here. Another person said the following: "If these were dug up by someone then the dirt should be piled up. It looks like they were taken out with a huge vacuum. This stuff is weird. It's like they just levitated up from the earth. There are no tracks around or any dirt to be seen within the immediate area." End quote. Well, this person had this to say: "Ever since seeing these images, I've tried to find out more information on them. The only thing I've been able to do though is talk to a few locals, who seem to be just as clueless as everyone else. The thing that gets me is how clean this is. I guess this could have happened due to a type of sinkhole, but there are dozens of these holes that have been created in a similar circumstance. Another idea that I've seen people put forward is the possibility of it being caused by something like a tornado, but there's nowhere near enough damage for it to be something like that. Like everyone else said, it looks like these things have been sucked out of the ground. There's no debris nearby and no signs of mud to suggest this happened." End quote. A few skeptics though have said it's likely sinkholes, but as some suggested, this would mean that the coffins would still be inside the holes, but they weren't. When locals went to investigate, they said that those who were later arrested were nowhere to be seen. Many in this region are quite superstitious, so other theories have been suggested to try and explain what's going on. For example, one woman suggested that a witch that dresses all in black is responsible for what happened. She detailed that this entity is feared by the locals, and that when anyone sees her they immediately run the other way. When these types of events happen, it just cements their belief in the paranormal, and that something bad would happen if they were ever to confront this thing. As of right now, locals are said to be looking for answers for what happened. Indonesia is no stranger to mysteries and legends. Indonesia holds a strange rich history of ghost sightings, and claims involving the recently deceased returning back to the land of the living to take on anyone who comes across them. One of the most popular stories of strange sightings involves that of the kuntilanak. The kuntilanak is described as being similar to that of legends surrounding a lady in white. According to a number of witness reports, the entity is a lady dressed in a long white gown that possesses long black hair and is the spirit of a woman who passed away during childbirth. The legend claims that the entity appears only during a full moon, and that if you happen to be too close when she arrives, she will dig her long fingernails deep into your stomach and begin to devour your organs as you're still alive. The only way to know if the kuntilanak is nearby is if you hear the sound of a baby crying or a dog whining. If you happen to hear a baby crying or a dog howling, then it means that the kuntilanak is moving away and is no longer in the area. The entity is not always easy to spot, however, as the ghost is capable of taking the form of a beautiful woman, in a way to lure men towards it to be devoured. Another mysterious creature is that of the winged owl. Believed to inhabit the denser regions of the jungles of Java, there appears to be a large winged creature that can be found across most of Indonesia. The creature is known as the winged owl, and is thought to be by many a possibly undiscovered large bat species native only to that region. The first reported encounter with the creature came from a man known as Dr. Ernest Bartels, and this happened back in 1925. The doctor claimed that he was on the slope of the Salak Mountains, studying the many diverse lifeforms, when he witnessed a massive bat-like creature fly above him. The creature was described as the doctor as being 28 feet in length, and as having the face of a chimp. Additional reports of the creature have been made in the modern day, with some reporting that the monster has attacked camps, villagers and hikers on expeditions. Scientists have even theorized that the existence of the creature could be that of an undiscovered species, given the fact that there seems to be a rather large bat subspecies that lives nearby, and populates the denser regions of the mountains and jungles. Today there is yet to be an explanation of the existence of the creature, but further expeditions of the area have not been made, and no concrete evidence has been gathered surrounding the creature. On any given day, there can be up to 5,000 planes in the sky. Watchtower employees and those who plane watch have caught some interesting things on camera. Although some of these include tense moments, some have baffled even those that spend a large part of their life in and around airports. One clip shows someone videoing a plane taking off. In the background though, they accidentally capture something that's baffled many who have seen it. When the footage is slowed down, it shows what looks like a mysterious craft, and this craft can be seen flying through the nearby clouds as it punches a hole through them, causing the cloud to be pushed outwards. Those who saw it said the object must have been travelling extremely fast, saying that normally passenger planes usually take off at speeds of between 140 and 170 miles per hour, and this thing was clearly going much faster. One user said the following about the footage: "This is genuinely one of the fastest moving objects I've seen. It's gone within seconds. That plane is nowhere near as fast as that object." End quote. While another user said the following: "I find it hard to believe that it is a plane or a jet. One, because the object is moving too fast, and secondly because I don't think a high-tech plane would be flying so close to a plane that has passengers on it. It's a safety risk. This definitely isn't a drone either. This is a strange one." End quote. The footage was said to have been captured above Orlando Airport sometime back in 2011, and some who live within the area commented that seeing UFOs above Florida isn't anything new. In fact, one commercial airline pilot detailed their encounter with a mysterious craft they couldn't identify. They said that whatever this thing was easily overtook them, saying that it was travelling at speeds exceeding 4,000 miles per hour. He said that he watched as this thing covered the curvature of the Earth within a few seconds. The pilot said he'd never seen anything so quick in his life. As with most of these posts, they also had a few skeptics, with some of them pointing out that the footage is fake and has most likely been edited. Others though don't believe this, and even posted their personal stories with UFOs above Florida, with some eyewitnesses saying that they think Florida is somewhat of a hotspot, In fact, this is backed up by MUFON, who reported that back in 2020, Florida and California reported the most UFO sightings. As of right now, this mysterious video is still being shared online. One of the most famous incidents involving that of a UFO and a plane was that of the 1976 Tehran UFO incident. This UFO incident is based on a chase that was carried out by two planes that belonged to the Iranian army. During this chase, the pilots of the Iranian army tried to shoot down at mysterious objects using their weapons, but this proved useless. Oddly enough, every time they tried to do this, their equipment stopped working. This also happened when they approached the object. In 1976, the Imperial Air Force was informed of different reports and sightings of the strange objects. This was alarming to all those who witnessed it, since it was a never-before-seen object. This strange craft was also seen firing out multiple lights, something that eyewitnesses couldn't explain. After hundreds of calls from civilians, it was decided that an F-4 Phantom should be sent out, for the purpose of investigating what was going on. This aircraft took off with the sole purpose of intercepting the unidentified flying object. Since the pilots managed to locate the object, they had orders to attack it. But strangely, when coming into contact with the object, the Iranian craft began to present some failures, and this stopped the military from being able to communicate with each other. The pilots decided to return to the base, noticing that when they got away from the object they got back all the normal functions of the aircraft. As expected, a second Iranian jet took off to identify the unknown object. Unlike the first encounter, the mysterious object began to make its way towards the plane, almost as if inspecting it. The pilot said that the craft in question was very bright, and that as it got closer, the brightness of the object stopped them from being able to see the craft. Not only did it come close, but it was reported that it released a drone-like object. This observed the jet, and then returned back to the original object. The pilots felt like they were going to be attacked, so decided to fight back. They noticed again that the weapons panel was completely inactive, which was alarming when they was in the sky with something they'd never seen before. However, they received no attacks, and it seemed as if this craft was just interested in the jet. One of the smaller objects descended into the desert, and the Iranian plane was ordered to proceed. The next day a search was conducted for evidence of the sighting, and whatever was found remains a secret. This has been recognized as one of the most reliable encounters with an unidentified flying object, due to the number of witnesses who were able to observe what happened. The main witnesses were different pilots of the Iranian military. Arachnophobia is the fear of spiders. It's one of the most common fears in the world, and it affects approximately 10% of men and 50% of women. One incredible thing about the spider is that its silk is one of the strongest materials in the world, and scientists have been trying for years to replicate it, but so far haven't been able to recreate the design. Scientists have recently announced they discovered a new species of flying spider in the jungles of South America. The scientists stated this flying spider has the ability to glide mid-air and change direction, saying that they observed them doing this from trees. Although these spiders don't have wings, it was an unexpected discovery. The researchers said this spider is more advanced than gliding, saying that it's able to twist and change its direction at will. A group of scientists headed into the jungles of Peru, with the sole purpose of studying creatures that have incredible abilities. When first seeing this elusive spider, they said that it displayed remarkable agility for an arachnid. The large spider, which is said to measure over 2 inches in diameter, was observed leaping through trees and gliding through the air, all while it changed directions several times. The researchers said that when they went into the jungle they didn't expect to discover this ability, saying that there's no other instances of a spider being able to do this ability. Stephen Janovic, a tropical anthropoecologist at the University of Louisville in Kentucky, said the following about the discovery. "We really did not expect to see gliding behavior in spiders." End quote. Robert Dudley, a professor of integrative biology at the University of California, continued with the following. "My guess is that many animals living in the trees are good at aerial gliding, from snakes and lizards to ants and now spiders. If a predator comes along, it allows the animal to jump and glide to the nearest tree, rather than landing in the understory or a stream." End quote. The researchers continued by saying that the spiders likely picked up this ability in order to get away from predators, and said that they've seen ants do similar things when they're approached by predators, saying that they will actively try and land on a tree instead of falling onto the forest floor. Another researcher said the following. "As far as adult arthropods are concerned, only ants, bristletails and spiders use directed aerial descent. However, the wingless immature stages of various insects that are winged as adults can also glide really well. These include cockroaches, stick insects and tree bugs. This study, like the first report of gliding ants, raises many questions that are wide open for further study. For instance, how accurate is the vision of these spiders? How do they target a tree? What is the effect of their hairs or spines on aerodynamic performance?" End quote. The paper was published in the journal Interface of Royal Society. As we explore the strange mysteries of the world around us, and work to tackle increasingly complex phenomena, it's of no surprise then that there will be an incredible number of natural phenomena that even the brightest minds of our generation can't explain. These strange mysteries will often go unnoticed, or quickly become forgotten about by those who are not interested in accepting the fact that we know so little about our universe. One such incident involves that of spiders seemingly falling from the sky. Similar to that of the strange appearance of star jelly, it appears that unexplainable precipitation is quite a common occurrence all around the world. There have been myths and rumours from all around the world that make claims of fish, snakes and jellyfish, or octopus raining from the sky, but probably one of the strangest stories comes from a town in Brazil. Located in a small town 250 miles west of Sao Paulo, was a community struck by an event of spiders raining down from the sky. Experts believe that spider eggs were inhabiting the thick clouds up above, and hatched all at once to leave millions of spiders softly falling from the sky. This led to the entire town being covered in the cobwebs of millions of spiders that dangled from rooftops and telephone wires all across the area. Additionally, scientists have claimed that around the area and its neighbouring cities, it's not an unusual sight to see a sky speckled with spiders, and that it's capable of creating tiny web-like parachutes and travelling thousands of feet into the air. But this is only when the wind conditions are just right. It appears then that this event appears to be seasonal, that can occur once every few years, and lead to a complete annihilation of native flying species, mosquitoes and other pests that spiders seem to completely rid the area of, and it's been described as a sort of large-scale cleanup event. Unfortunately, there seems to be no way to predict when this event will occur, and no working theory as to how the spider eggs can be planted, stay up and survive the strong wind forces above the earth and inside thundering clouds. As mentioned earlier, another strange object is that of star jelly. For some inexplicable reason, however, there appears to be a common occurrence of a different type of precipitation that does not seem to fit the normal status quo. Nicknamed star jelly, scientists have uncovered reports and evidence of a strange jelly-like substance falling from the sky at random times from all around the world. The material has been found on top of grasses, in trees, on top of buildings, and covering hard mountainous regions. Despite the placement of this jelly-like substance, scientists claim that star jelly is nothing more than frog ovum that has expanded from the exposure to rain and water. Unfortunately, this explanation seems to be a lackluster attempt, as many others have tested the material and proved that not a single trace of DNA, plant or animal exists within the material. Reports of this strange jelly-like substance falling from the sky, of which is described as being milky white or translucent, and with the consistency of shredded jello, has been mentioned in old documents in the 1300s, and still it seems to baffle people in the modern era. So what do you make of this new gliding spider? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.